Hey everyone, this is the CU Hackett Git tutorial for Hello World 2020. For more information, check out our website, cuhack.it. Thanks. Hey everyone, so today we're going to talk about Git and GitHub, which are two really awesome tools that computer scientists use, especially during hackathons. If you haven't heard of them before, there's basically two big reasons why computer scientists use these tools. And the first is so that they can work together with other people when they code. Obviously, at a hackathon, you're going to be working with other people, so being able to code maybe different parts of the projects at the same time and then merge all that together is super important, and Git helps with that. It also helps with the ability to do what's called version control. So you can think about that like if you were writing a paper and you finish writing a page and then you decide after the fact, well, I actually want to change that like second paragraph, but I want to save off a copy of my original paper first, just in case my rewrite doesn't look as good. Instead of saving a bunch of different copies of your code after you change them to just go back to an older version if you want to, Git will take care of that for you through something called committing. And then after the fact, you can just step back through history and look through your code as it changed and revert back to an earlier version if you want to. But with that being said, let's just jump into how to use it. So here we are on the GitHub main website. You can see github.com up there in the corner. We're signed in right now, but we can go up here, click on our little profile, and click our name, CU Hackers, to check it out. So you can see we don't have any repositories yet. Repositories are basically where you put code. So each project has its own repository. We can click up there at the plus sign to make a new repository. And here we'll just call it test repository or something. And we'll give it a default description. And we'll make it public so that other people can see it, and we just won't touch any of those other options. But now that we've made it, how do we get it onto our computer? Like, how do we get our computer to know that this is a project that we're working on? In the future, I would definitely recommend checking out that org create repository on the command line thing that has a cool built-in stuff. But just since we're starting off here as beginners, uh, we're just going to click that little copy button next to that link up there, and we're going to go through this the manual way to set it up. So we can click that copy button and come back over to our terminals here. We have two here to simulate two different computers. So the one on the left is its own computer. As we can see, we can type pwd to see that we're in our own directory there, and pwd in the other one to show that we're in different directories. So we can type ls, prove there's nothing in this repository, and then we're going to do a command called git clone. And this will only work if you have Git installed on your computer already. On Macs, it comes pre-installed. On Windows, you just have to install it, and the link will be in the description. But Git clone will basically take some metadata about that project that we just created in the GitHub website and pull it down to our computer. So we can type git clone and that URL, and when we press enter, it's going to create this new folder on our computer called test repository, which is the project that we've just created. Now what we can do is we can create a file in this project. So I'm just going to call it test.txt here and put some little message in here, like hello world. And this could be code, in a hackathon context. But now we can, once we've finished editing it, we've saved it, we can type git status and see, oh, we have this new file in red here because we haven't done anything with it yet. So we can type git add dot, and that means take all the files in my directory that I'm in right now, in my folder, which in this case is just this test file, and stage them. You don't really need to worry about staging them just yet, but what it does is it lets us say all of those files are going to be included in this commit. And a commit is like, as I described earlier, just a specific snapshot of your project in time. And so a commit is described with a message. In this case, we type git commit -m, and then we can put in quotes, whatever we want. I'm just going to call it first commit, close quotes. And now all of the files that we staged for addition with that git add command, all the files in this folder, are now in this little snapshot. So we can then type git push, and when we hit enter, it will upload this snapshot up to GitHub. So we can see, we come over here, we'll refresh the page, and we now have test.txt right there, just like we typed it. Cool. So let's jump over to the other computer. Like we said, we will have to clone this repository to the command line. We've got a file in it now, so when we clone it, we'll have that file. But in this other terminal, we can type git clone just like we did before. There's that test repository folder, but now it's got test.txt, which we just made in the other terminal. So we can edit that one, or we can make a new folder or a new file. I'll just call this one test2.txt, and we can type hi everyone. We will save that, come back to the command line, and again we can see git status. This is unstaged, we haven't committed it yet, but we can type git add to stage it for commit. When we type git status now it's green, so we know in our commit it will be included in this little snapshot. So git commit -m, some other message, I'll just call this one new changes, and git push will send this new snapshot up to the website. And when it's finished, head back over here and we'll refresh the page, and now we've got test2.txt right there. So we've kind of simulated two people working on this at once. Now we can go back to our original terminal, and this will be the last step, just to show you how cool Git is. But let's type vi, just to make a new file here, test3.txt, so a totally new file, and we'll just put some more words in this one. And we can open up the original file, and we can see that we've still got hello world here. Let's just delete that exclamation point here. So at this point, we have made changes to a file that is already in the GitHub repository, and we've created a new file. So we can type git status and see that the test.txt file is modified, and we have an untracked file, which just means a new file called test3.txt. But both of them are in red because they haven't been staged yet. So we can type git add dot to stage both of them, git commit -m to take a little snapshot of what these new changes are, and when we hit enter, we can now type git push, but we're going to run into a bit of an issue because what we have in our local folder here is different than what's in the repository on GitHub. And that might seem like some sort of problem, like how can you merge these things together, but Git is pretty magical and can merge them for you. So as we can see here, we just have test.txt and test3.txt, while GitHub also has that test2 folder. But if we type git pull, it'll show us this little message. We can close out of it. But now, if we type ls after typing git pull, we have test2.txt, we have the new changes that we've made to test and test3.txt, and we type git push, we can send our snapshot up to GitHub, and there are no conflicts. GitHub has merged them together for us, which is super awesome. You can see the changes that we've made to test.txt, test3.txt is there, and test2 is also there. So yeah, that's Git. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you get to use this at Hello World, and happy hacking.